Change the way you think about progress. First off, I'd really like to encourage you, anytime you're watching a video like this one, go ahead and grab your journal and a pen or pencil or a post-it note or the back of a receipt. Just have something in front of you in case something makes sense or hits you in the feels a little bit. I always have a notepad in my car when I'm listening to videos that, honestly, it's what I'm bringing to you. I'm trying to condense it down real tight because not everybody has hours on end to listen to podcasts, and I do. So I want to bring it to you in less than 10-minute little lessons, condensed messages. So grab a pencil paper, and jot down whatever you feel connected to. Always. Okay, progress. We're talking about progress today. I would like to challenge that progress is directly related to your happiness. Okay? I do not feel that this life that we are living, the mission that we're on, the goal in the end is necessarily about your happiness. I think it's about growing to your full potential. But happiness kind of tends to lead to contentment, and contentment kind of tends to lead to non-action. And that's not really what we're here for, per se. However, being happy with the process and being happy with your progress is an important part of the whole journey, the whole step. So I was listening to a podcast today, and the guy was letting us know happiness and unhappiness are not actually direct opposites in your brain. They're in totally different locations. You don't even necessarily have to call it happiness and unhappiness. You could call it contentment. You could call it ill at ease. You call it different things. But the feeling of peace is not necessarily happy. The feeling of anger is not necessarily unhappy. There's a whole different spectrum. But it's important to know that the things that make you feel unhappy are on a totally different sliding scale than the things that make you feel happy. Money, for instance, can make you feel less unhappy. It makes things a whole lot easier. It can provide you with a means to bless other people. Blessings can make you feel happier, but just the ease in life that money provides will raise or decrease your unhappiness level. Whereas it doesn't necessarily make you feel happier. Does that make sense? A little bit? So you want to really be focusing on progress. Your own personal progress is what's going to lead to your happiness. Whether it's working on yourself, working on your career, working on your family, working on your finances, your home life, your spiritual life, all of these areas grow, hopefully pretty in sync with each other. You don't really want to be super wompy-jawed on your progress as a human being, but focusing on your own progress is what's going to lead to your happiness. The growth that you find and that you see, especially when you're writing it down and measuring it, that's what leads to happiness in life. That's what leads to having a fulfilled life in the end. You really want to embody what you're thinking and what you wish to be. However, to embody what you wish to be, you need to decide what you are. This life is not necessarily about doing. It's about being. If I choose to be a kind and generous person, I will do kind and generous things. However, whenever we don't take the time to really study ourselves, study our own brain, our own thought habits, we seem to just take on whatever we do as who we are. So when you're chronically late to work, or, maybe you tend to let your anger get away with you more often than you'd like, or you have really self-deprecating thoughts pretty often, when you aren't intentional about who you want to be, those things become who you are in your heart, in your mind. And then you're just on this snowball down the mountain of feeling horrible about yourself, of feeling like you're lost, feeling like you're barely swimming, barely coming up for air. Whenever you take the time to study your mind and your thoughts and decide, write it down, put it on paper, who you want to be, you will do the things that align with who you choose to be. And when you aren't intentional about it, you just let your life slide into whatever is happening to you. And that's not who you are. That's not who you were chosen to be. You just let it happen. That's not the way to happiness in your life, and that's not the way to progress. In order to find progress, you have to know where you're at. You have to know who you want to be. You have to start writing it down, measuring it, and then take baby steps. That's how you find happiness in life. Progress. Measure it, write it down, and decide. Don't just let it happen to you. You get to decide who you want to be for this world. Not necessarily just for yourself, for the world. What are you bringing to the world? You are so awesome, and you absolutely have not been passed over by life. You've just been on the coast for a minute, but now you get to decide. You get to pick it up and run with it. You decide. I love you so, so much. By the way, if you like the videos I'm doing, subscribe. Be sure and watch the next one. I'm going to start putting in the end clips, so the next one that's coming up is going to be picked just for you. I love you so much. Have a great day. Hey, you made it to the end. Be sure and click on the next video to keep the party going. And don't forget to subscribe.